Hey, if you can't get enough Casio, check him out at his real job. Yeah, the one that actually pays the bills. Listen to the Jimbo and Casio Morning Show live 6 to 10 a.m. Central on therocket951.com.
It's a Jimbo quick quiz. How much does a giraffe weigh? Go! Hurry!
9,700.
9,700.
How much? How much? Where's the giraffe weight?
That's just 5 times the size of a giraffe. It weighs 2,000 pounds. You hit it 5 times. That is a fat-ass giraffe.
You have.
That is so much neck. That is so much neck.
Oh, wow. They weigh 150 pounds at birth.
They weigh
I thought they were so much bigger than that.
9,700.
I thought they were huge.
You went 5 times the size of a giraffe. That thing is a walking skyscraper.
I thought they were gigantic.
Listen live online or download the Rocket app for your tablet or smartphone. Just search WRTT Rocket 95.1 in the Apple or Google Play Store.
What's up, Candy Lickers? Pleased to meet you. Nice to know me. What you doing besides washing your hands? You're listening to another edition of Casio's Cut.
Hey kid, look at me. Let's burn down the school with gasoline. Say hell yeah. Hell yeah. Say white trash. White trash. Hey kid, it's party time. We're kicking out the jams like the MC5. That's the way I wanna be. I'll be a white trash superstar. That's the way I wanna be. I'll be a white trash superstar.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Hope you are enjoying yourself on self-isolation as we all continue to dodge the coronavirus. We are corona-free and way to be here at Casio's Cut Podcast. We hope you are too, and we know you are catching up on all your streaming services, and hopefully you listen to all of the Casio's Cut. Time to catch up. If you are a new listener, go back and listen to those archives during the week while you are social distancing from all your friends and family. For those of you who are still working, just want to thank you guys and gals who are helping this country run on a skeleton crew. Basically, it goes without saying that we need you more than ever. All of our first responders, all of our healthcare workers, and yes, even the people that are still getting us food, grocery stores, restaurants, the whole nine. So I just want to say personally, thank you for taking care of us. A little bit of housekeeping, of course. Go to CasiosCuts.com. That's merchandise headquarters. We're doing 20% off all this week, 20% off. Follow us on social media. My personal account is at the Casio Kid. Be sure you follow that at Casio's Cut, CasiosCut. That's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all Casio's Cut. You can find us there. Be sure you subscribe. Be sure you like. Be sure you retweet. Be sure you repost and share all that good stuff. And make sure you go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe there as well. You heard the first ever episode of Casio's Cut, the pilot, if you will.
How's that show been doing?
It's been doing great.
Yeah.
It's popping off. The first ever episode of Casio's Cut podcast was the well-read tour, the Liberal Rednecks.
That's why I asked. I assume we buried it. I assume we buried the whole thing from the jump.
Well, my favorite was when the podcast finally started, and I tweeted out, join us next week for our first episode. I interviewed the Liberal Rednecks, and he went, cool, when are we going to hook up and talk? It's like, we did this already.
Legit.
And then Drew retweeted it and put, apparently we did this. I don't remember it, so it's probably fire.
Dude, that's the most, literally, I mean, I've been scared a lot in my life, but in my professional career, things had kind of just started to pop off. So, normally when people were like, oh, man, aren't you worried about getting canceled? Before anything popped off for me, I was like, you got to be a thing to even have your shit canceled. So, no, I'm not worried about it. But then, we'd had a book deal and we'd had some stuff going on. And then you were like, hey, man, we got a podcast coming out. We're going to do it together. And I'm like, I can't wait to do it. And you're like, we already did it. That immediately sends a red flag to me. It was like, well, this is a good run. We had a good run. Because if I don't remember a night with Casio, that was not something that I wanted to be filmed.
And then Drew tweeted that he didn't remember it, and you replied, you were like, oh, if you don't remember it either, it's fine.
It's done.
It's really good.
It's done, but I did listen back to it, and I made some good points. I'm not saying that there's certain things that I wouldn't take back, because I'm a grown man now. That was a couple years ago. I've grown.
It's bad when a couple times all of us involved except you went, wait, Corey, you sure you want that?
Yeah.
Do you want me to edit that? Nah, keep it going.
Let it rip. Yeah.
So if you missed that, this is why Corey's got his own spinoff now.
Yeah.
You got your own spinoff episode. And this time we're going to do the countdown with Corey Ryan for us.
Okay, I'm in.
10 questions, 10-1.
Okay.
That way they get to know you.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. As if they didn't get to know me good enough.
We knew a lot about you.
Yeah, but this is... Okay.
This would be a more nuanced interview.
Okay.
To see where you take it.
Okay.
Number 10, name something that's a perfect 10 in Corey Forrester's life.
Name something that's a perfect 10 in my life. This is probably going to be very nerdy, but I'm going to say the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I thought you were going to say your wife. That's why I counted.
Oh, shit. Okay. First off, I thought this was like an entertainment podcast. No, you're right. Of course my wife. But that's it's like when somebody says, what's your Mount Rushmore of professional wrestlers? We all go, aside from Ric Flair. We know. My wife is the Ric Flair of my life. She's number one on there and everyone knows it. So it'd be ridiculous to even say it. It's who are the best.
I thought you were going to say the Mount Rushmore of women in your life. It's obviously she's on there.
Yeah.
No, but you went to wrestling.
Diane Lane is at the top. My wife is somewhere. No, I went straight to wrestling. I went straight to wrestling.
Okay.
But I'm going to say the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Is a perfect 10.
Yeah, just because, have there been some films that I enjoyed less than other films? Yeah, sure. But that doesn't mean that independent film wasn't one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Because I'm only comparing it to other Marvel movies. For me, as long as Marvel keeps putting shit out, that's the one thing that, my butt, there's going to be an ass every 18
Then what's
inches.
your least favorite?
Thing of all time?
No, Marvel movie.
My least favorite Marvel movie.
That you liked less than others.
Probably Iron Man 2.
And your favorite?
My favorite, Civil War.
Oh.
Civil War is the greatest. That's not even. I'm speaking objectively. That's the best Marvel movie ever. Iron Man 2, I think there's a lot of people that would say the second Thor, but to me, Iron Man 2 just kind of fell apart. I didn't think that they sold the fucking heel as good as they could.
What's the one? Ghost Recon or whatever. That's the one where the dude on Blacklist is the guy.
Oh, that's
Which one is that?
That's the Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it's not the best. It's
we didn't.
It's not the best, but I do feel that Iron Man 2 is the lesser of those because they both sucked, but at least that one had everybody else. This one sucked and only had Iron Man in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So it was clearly on Tony Stark. He did not deliver.
He delivered. It's just that the story was fucking stupid. They didn't I've always been upset. The one thing that I've always had the problem with him. I don't know if normally your 10 questions go this deep, question to question, but here we are. We're gonna do this hypothetically speaking.
Okay.
What I'm saying is the thing that I've always admired about superhero movies, the best superhero movies of all time have always done a great job of building the villain to the level that it makes sense that the superhero could fuck them up.
Okay.
And Iron Man 2, in my opinion, never does that.
Okay.
It never builds the villain up, which we have Mickey Rourke playing not Cable, God damn it, what's that? Can't see, here's how you know that it's not the best movie. I can't remember the fucking villain's name. It's not Cable, it's fucking
Jeff Gordon.
No,
on a NASCAR track?
Don't you dare. They are on a NASCAR track. But they are. But he has a fucking meeting with Elon Musk or some shit. And it's yeah, dude, Mickey Rourke did a good job in The Wrestler, but that doesn't mean he needs this type of resurgence. Like, you're trying to build a fucking brand here.
Yeah, it's
So,
like Iron Man being on
So
the map.
that one wasn't no. Yes, exactly, dude. Yes, 100%. That's it. And it was bullshit. But then with Civil War, one of my favorite things about it was, aside from coming from a southern town who still believes that like that was an injustice, the Civil War's always been over. The Civil War's always been over for me. And so like you've got these.
Actually,
Yeah, no, it don't hit. Like,
y'all didn't go over.
no,
I say y'all.
y'all.
Wait.
Hey, my daddy was from Pennsylvania. I'll tell you right now. So, but like in Civil War, it was like these characters that like you're not having to build up a heel. Matter of fact, what you've done this entire time in these movies is you've built up this entire team of hero characters, these face characters, and then you turn these face characters heel. It's the only comic book movie that I know of that turned beloved faces heel and made you go, oh my God, wait, who's heel? Like you didn't know the whole time. You're like,
Right.
I mean,
You're
I
having to decide.
kind of agree with Tony Stark that like, look, we are weapons of mass destruction. We should absolutely register with the government. But then I'm also looking at Captain America, who you would think Captain America, the number one like fucking like America First Patriot fucking Uncle Sam will be like, yes, turn everything into the government. The government knows exactly what to do. But he's not. He was like, no, we are better than these people. We don't have to register with them. Like, it doesn't matter that they think that we're out there doing bullshit. We know that we are rocking shit. I don't know if you were aware, but the first Avengers, shit came down from space and we protected New York. And you think that I have to go to the government and tell them about what the fuck I'm doing? No, matter of fact, I need to hear what they're doing. That's what I would think if I was Captain America. So I'm back and forth on both of them. I'm like, God damn it, man. Like, I'm not a capitalist, but like I certainly agree with Tony Stark's approach to this. And I'm also not a nihilist, but I totally agree with Captain America, as unironic as it is. And it created the perfect crescendo for this great movie where you have faces who you don't know are heels just clashing at one moment. It's like fucking Hulk Hogan and The Rock, man. Like, it was like that moment. That's why it's the best one of them.
So you're saying, I could somehow shorten that up.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if I could.
Oh, we've only done one question, haven't we?
Is that it was the first one that they didn't, out of the gate, tell you who the heel and the villain was.
You
The
didn't
heel
know.
and the good guy
You
was.
had to decide.
You had to decide that.
Right, because in
They
most
put you in the spot.
in most superhero movies, you 100% know Spider-Man is the hero, Green Goblin is the villain. You know that.
Yes.
And so if you root for Green Goblin, you're a school shooter.
When we expect all of them, all the Avengers, to be the handshake.
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior and Hogan.
Not this one.
And it didn't.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's faces versus faces. You don't know fucking who to root for. It's the only time in movies that the tension was not like, am I starting to root for this bad guy because he's so hot and my wife likes him? No, it's that like you go, they have a good point and they have a good point. It's usually this person is Spider-Man saving the world from someone creating a nuclear reactor that will explode New York. But this time it was literally a philosophy-driven movie that was being fought by two clearly good factions, babyface factions. You can't understand how to do it in your mind, and then in the end, you're like, yeah, it was a good sale. They did it. So to me, that's and that's why the Marvel Universe is a perfect 10 for me, because they just haven't, not even the ones that weren't good for me, ultimately set up a storyline. It's like what Conrad and Bruce say, like when you see something in wrestling that you don't like, give it a second, because maybe it's building for something that you will like even more. Yeah. And that's what so the worst one ultimately led to that.
They already see the big picture.
So
we don't.
That's why they're a perfect 10, because their worst thing set up the best thing.
We're seeing a scene. They see the whole thing.
Chess. They're playing chess. When you play chess, you see the whole board.
All right, number 9.
Oh my God.
The German word.
This is going to take 5 hours.
No, some of them's quicker.
Okay.
Number 9 is the German word for no. So what's no? Something that's no more in 2020 for Corey Forrester. It's a hard no from you.
Something I'm just not doing in 2020?
However you want to interpret it. What's a no more in 2020?
Responding to negative comments on social media.
Ooh. Not
responding to all comments, because I will absolutely, I want to, if I post something in my, if I have fans, which are great, but if I have somebody that's like putting what I said over and like asking me a question about it or something like that, I will respond, hey man, yeah, we'll be there November 12th. Thanks for checking out the video. But like when someone shits on something I do, I'm just letting it go. Like the most I'll do is like it so that they'll be like, I just said this horrible thing and he liked it. This is the weirdest thing ever. But like,
It shows that you saw it.
It shows that I saw it, and then I'm not responding. That's the most.
Do you have anybody blocked?
No, I don't block anybody.
No, that gives them the satisfaction.
Well, I just don't like. My thing is, I don't like living in an echo chamber. Like I know a lot of people like to live in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
And to me,
that's what I was thinking.
To me, and like that sounds great, but like I personally not enjoy. Like I don't enjoy seeing the negative things people say about me or the negative things people say about things that I like. But I do like living in a full America, whereas like a lot of people, they get on their timeline and they go, you said this, I don't agree with, block. You said this, I don't agree with, block. You said this, I don't agree with, block. And then come time for some big decision, some vote, let's say, I won't get political, I'll just use very vague terms. People then go, I don't see how it's going this way. Everyone on my timeline seems to think blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, because you blocked everybody that doesn't think that way. So now you don't know how America works. And in my line of business as a comedian, even though I do have my set of beliefs, I still feel it's important as an artist, regardless of how I'm putting it out in like stand-up form, in short story form, in television screenplay form. I think it's natural for me to want to see how the world works if I'm going to put a product out to the world. Even if it's to expose something I think is negative about it, I need to be able to see it. Therefore, I will never block somebody just because they piss me off. Matter of fact, I might favorite them so that I can see the hate because the haters.
You just don't respond.
I just don't respond because there's no reason to. Because that's what they want.
Yes.
Like anyone, because sometimes like you click on their profile and they've got 2 followers. It's like they signed up just to shit on you. Like,
well, I like to. Anybody who ever hates on any of my stuff, I like to go. I mean, I hate to admit that I'm giving them any inch of my headspace, but it ain't even about the. I click it and then click tweets and replies, and when it's just every tweet is a different celebrity that they shit on, you go, okay,
who cares?
Actually, it's a sign of I'm good. I'm
good. Right, exactly. No, that's the thing I look at sometimes. Like, if you took because like I'm the type of person that like I strive to be this way. Like if I don't bury people, even if there's somebody I hate. Like I'll never go on a podcast and bury that person. I only want to put stuff over.
Right.
That's my thing. If I don't like something, I don't talk about it. Like that's my thing. I just don't. Oh, is there somebody here?
There's a haint.
Huh?
There's a haint.
Like a ghost? I thought it was. Okay, we're in. But if I don't like something, I just don't talk about it. Don't cut it. Don't edit it.
They're not.
If I don't like something, I just don't talk about it. I don't bury it. But when I really like something, I love putting it over. Like I love doing free promo. Like anytime you've ever saw me hyping fucking almost anything on Twitter. Matter of fact, every time you saw me hyping something on Twitter, they were not paying me. Like I only talk about shit that pays me on the podcast. But like if I'm talking about it on Twitter, I'm putting it over because I fucking like that shit. But if something happens that I don't like, I'm not gonna get on Twitter and go, fuck this bullshit. Right. I'm just gonna go, that's out of my life. I'm fucking done with that. So in 2020, negative social media commentary or feedback, I'm done with that. Responding to trolls. I'm out. All right. It does nothing but feed them. It's what they want. I'm done.
8. Last thing you ate.
Last thing I ate. This is pizza and wings here in the Conrad, and they weren't from the boot because the boot was closed. Where were they from? You know.
Nah, we don't pay. We're not giving a shout out.
See, that's my difference. I thought it was good, so I was gonna put them over.
Well, it is good.
It's good, but I had pizza and wings here in the Conrad.
I'm opposite you.
Yeah.
We ain't made a dime from them, so.
Yeah, I don't care. Like if I like you, I'm putting you over. I don't.
It's not a mom and pop that needs.
Oh well, then never mind. Fuck them.
No, that's what I was.
That shit was Domino's. Y'all done.
No, it was a chain, but
I had pizza and wings here in the Conrad.
I'm gonna change it.
Okay.
We're gonna eat a cheesesteak flavored Slim Jim. Have you ever had one?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. Now, The key will be
The key will be opening. How do
trying
you
to get
know?
this open.
Oh, I got it. Here we go.
You fired off. Oh, you got the mic down.
Yeah, I got the mic down.
I can't get mine open.
And I grew up near a farm. We know how to open Slim Jim. This was my first bra. Opening a Slim Jim was I learned how to open a
This
bra.
is my first condom.
Yeah.
A Slim Jim wrapper. And I just tied it. Now I got greasy hands because I got just enough of it out.
Yeah. No one watching this is like, man, if they all had bets on who would get the Slim Jim open quicker,
me.
and they all lost.
Yeah,
They all fucking
I
lost.
did too.
They're like,
But it should tell you, I just tried to talk into my Slim Jim instead of Mike's.
that Bob Barker mic. Hey, next up, it's Plinko.
Susie said if her man was a squirrel, she'd love his big what?
99 cents.
I was doing.
I know, Matt. You were doing match game. I knew I was going along with it. You were doing Gene Rayburn, and I was stealing Bob Barker. Do you don't think I know game show? It was a big blank.
That was a game show Civil War.
Yeah. Two baby faces.
Yeah.
Richard
All right,
Dawson
here we
and
go.
Gene Rayburn going. Yeah, here we go. All right, cheesesteak flavor. First off, let me go ahead and say.
Tough.
So are these are either old or Slim Jim has doubled up on their.
Toughness.
They've doubled up on their plastic wrap that they put the sausage in.
Tight. It's a hard case.
I can't. If I'm being honest with you, I can't even give you a good read on the flavor because of how hard it is to get to
Yeah.
it.
Add some more in there.
Okay, here we go.
Good. Oh, you're
Oh.
taking tiny bites. Look at mine compared to yours.
What are you talking about?
I'll give you that. I was wrong.
Well, it's also
Oh, wait. The more you get in your mouth,
it's a
little bit
brown PVC pipe that we're chewing through here. I've gotten plenty enough bites to get to the flavor, but like I can't because it's like plastic wrap.
Not a good look. For
That ain't
me.
it. That ain't it, man. And here's the deal. I'm a Slim Jim mark.
No.
I love Slim Jim.
My bottom.
Oh, I love Slim Jim. This ain't your fault. Like
Slim Jim saying cheesesteak is their new flavor.
no,
Agree to disagree.
but it's not the flavor. And let me get this straight. I'm getting to the flavor right now, and it's not that good.
No.
But I also think like I've been gnawing at it for a while. Like maybe if I got that flavor right when it was fresh, it'd be okay. But like this ain't it.
I
Man.
think the more you get in there,
No, it's worse. It gets worse. You know,
I
sometimes
went
it gets
the rest of
better.
I went the rest of it. Let's see.
No, this is bad. I'm gonna wash it down with this Red Bull Mountain Dew
Good problem.
vodka.
Who's the problem? My jaw's hurting from
How
chewing.
about choke on that? That ain't it.
My jaw's hurting from eating it.
No, dude. Man, here's the deal, Slim Jim. If you're out there,
I
if you're
feel like
listening,
it's chew. It's
It's a
big
chaw.
It's big
It's a
chaw.
chaw.
Yeah.
Slim Jim, if you're out there listening,
I'm just now not even a snuff.
we are like we understand that maybe we just got a bad Slim Jim.
Hey, it's a gas station. It could have been bad.
It could have been bad. It could have been sitting in a non-humidified room. We understand that.
Our experience.
Yeah, this is anecdotal, but if you will just send us a case of fresh cheesesteak, am I wrong? Cheesesteak?
Maybe not
If
a
you will
case,
send-
just in case they're bad, but a couple. But
Look,
a case of the original.
Oh, we're in a quarantine. They'll be fine. You send us a case. You send us a case, Slim Jim, of these that are fresh, and we'll give you a different opinion. But other than that, you're fucking buried right now because you're basic. That is terrible.
Why don't you go back to making hats for Macho Man?
My God.
Get out of this meat stick game.
Jesus Christ.
Go back to sponsoring Halloween Havoc.
All right, what's number 7? Or 8?
That was 8, last thing you ate.
Okay.
I just changed it.
That ain't it.
And I apologize. Because
No,
you
it's
had
okay.
a good wing and pizza run going.
I did.
And I messed it up.
No, you did the right thing. I mean, that wasn't interesting. That was very interesting.
7. Name something. What did you want to be when you were 7 years old? What did you want to be when you grew up?
What I'm doing right now is stand-up comedian.
Sitting in your friend's basement?
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
to a fat kid.
Which is a stand-up comedian. Yeah, I am one of the few people that I'm truly living my dream, which makes me want to cry sometimes. But like legitimately, of all the friends that I know, I had a lot of friends growing up. I'm the only one that I think I can say, except for my brother-in-law who is a fireman, and like a lot of people want to be a fireman when he was a kid, and now he's a fireman. But like other than that, like I said I wanted to be a stand-up comedian at 5 because, like, my dad watched them on TV and they popped for him and therefore they popped for me. And I was like, I've never made Dad laugh like that. I'm in. I want to do that. I said it, and it was a joke forever. Because of course it would be. Like, I understand that. No, I would never look at somebody in 4th grade that said
joke forever.
Well,
10 more years, you were only open mic.
Yeah, no, I know, but no, you're right. No, you're right. But I want to say is like I would never look back at someone in 5th and 6th grade because there were several people that were like, you can't do that because like I remember the only reason that I thought that I could be a stand-up comedian was because I saw Jeff Foxworthy. Like before that, I was like, this is something I'd really like to do, but I don't know how to do it because from what I can tell, based on television, you have to either be from New York or LA to do this because every comic that goes on Carson or Leno, they're all like, from New York, you know, David Brennan, and I was like, oh, well, that's just where those people are born. We get race car drivers and pedophiles, and they get comedians.
They get the funny people.
And they get the funny people. And then I saw this guy named Jeff Foxworthy, and I was like, oh my God, I actually can do it. And so I wanted to do that. And so like when I was in, you know, getting into middle school and even like early high school, which I understand, like people that felt the same way that I used to feel before I saw Foxworthy, they were like, yeah, but like, what are you going to do to make money while you do that? And I was like, no, that's what I'm going to do to make money. And they're like, right. But like,
during the day,
and I was like, no, that's
to
pay bills. And like, I don't fault them for thinking that in high school. You know, after we got out of high school and I started actually like going to clubs and featuring for people, was like, then it would make me mad when they would still say those things. Like, cause, bro, I still have people say that to me now. Like, I got a book published with Simon & Schuster, and I had a television deal with ABC, and I was on The View, and I was on a fucking sellout every single fucking night tour, all in the same year of everything I'm telling you. And I would still have people go, so like, what else do you do? And I was like, what the fuck else time do I have to do? What are you talking about?
That's Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. And I was doing a podcast, I was like, what do you mean? Like, what have you done today?
This is the game plan.
What, like, but as far as like, did you just hear all the shit? And I'm not bragging, I am bragging, but like, did you hear all the shit that I just said that I did this year? Could you do that in 10 lifetimes, you non-contributing piece of shit? What do
You're
I
not talking
fucking...
about your farmer brother.
No, of course, hell no, I'm not talking about him. He could do it if he wanted to. But I'm just saying, like, they still have that. Like, I still have people like, I just bought a fucking house. It's a nice house. With money that I made doing stand-up, which to them...
What are you going to do when you quit doing that?
Work, get $700 a week at the Ace Hardware. That's what I'm going to do.
$700 man.
I'm a $700 man. Corey DiBiase. Question 7 or 6.
That was 6.
Okay.
6 things you must travel with.
6 things I must
I'm
travel.
not talking about, hey, I'm bringing underwear and socks.
You're right. Yeah, we all know that. Okay.
I say it for a reason.
Yeah. It's like how Flair's on. Who's your Mount Rushmore aside from Flair and Hogan and Rock and Austin? The other 4. If you can do that, like we all know who the 4 are. We all know that underwear's over. We get that.
I got it.
All right. If I'm traveling, number 1, headphones.
This is Bolo. Let's go pre-corona apocalypse.
Yeah.
Now you're traveling with shotgun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Biscuit. Might have to stop on the side road and make some pancakes. Y'all don't know.
Toilet paper.
Yeah. No, just CVS receipts.
Yeah.
So, look here. All these children out here playing fucking tag. All right. So
that sounds weird.
Just headphones. Headphones.
Okay. Yeah.
Number 1, headphones. Like there's a lot. Like my wife could.
In ear or over ear?
I got the pods, but they're my wife's. I steal them.
I hate pods.
I don't mind them. Now I don't like the battery life, but I do like that I can. So like I sleep a lot of times when I'm at a hotel. I sleep with. I have this specific sweatshirt that's actually more like a t-shirt sweatshirt. It's like it's a sweatshirt.
It's called a hoodie.
Okay. Well, it's built like a t-shirt but has a hood. Is that a hoodie? All right. I'm sorry. Look, I'm not 40.
It's a thin
I didn't know.
hoodie.
I wasn't around during Alice in Chains. I had no idea.
I got this. It's like it's kind of like a hoodie,
But you know what I'm saying?
Thinner.
Like, well, all right. I thought hoodies was sweatshirts, and this was different. No, I mean you're right, dude. You're keying me in. Like you're right. No, you're right.
It's a hooded T-shirt.
I sleep. The way I sleep is I have this one from Nike that I got hooked up. They let me go to the Performance Center when I'm in Portland. You know, I'm on the list.
But what could you do in 10 lifetimes?
Yeah, nothing, Principal Barker. You fucking piece of shit. Sent you a goddamn book with $100 bill in it. Said you could use it more than me, motherfucker. I'm fucking shooting on everybody. Anyways, I have a big hoodie with like a big hood that like. When I sleep with it, it feels like I'm wearing nothing, and I put the hood over my face, like I stretch it down like a mask, and it never knocks the pods out. Like they stay perfect in there. So
by the way, I've roomed with you on more than one occasion. You've never slept in a hood.
This is new. No, this is new. No, as soon as I got money,
I've been in the bed next to you.
No, dude, that's the crazy thing is that when
you were shirtless.
No, I know.
At a time, I wish you were hooded.
The crazy thing, when you get money, you meet other people that have money, and they go, "Here's how you should live your life." And they go, "Did you used to just sleep in a shitty hotel with a guy named Casio and you were shirtless? You were doing it wrong. Here's what you need to do. You need to wear a thin fucking shirt to keep all the bullshit."
But don't call it a hoodie.
I didn't know that.
No, I'm saying that's what the rich people are telling.
Yeah, don't call it a hoodie. That's thug shit. You can't do that. Call it a thin shirt with a hood.
It's like a hybrid T-shirt.
It's like a hybrid T-shirt.
Hoodie.
Look.
Beanie.
Look, it's something that you'd wear on the beach, and people would be like, "Is he really on the beach with that?" And you're like, "Yeah, baby, I'm over." So like it's thin, and like, but they fit perfect in there. So, anyways, I know that we're still in this question. So that's number one is some headphones because I have to listen to shit. Like I'm a very auditory dude. Like I have to listen to every one of Conrad's podcasts. I have to listen to Casio's cut.
Are you sleeping to people talking? Or white noise, or music?
So sometimes my favorite thing is to get on YouTube, and there's a channel that is just 10 hours of uninterrupted noise. And if you're watching it on your TV, it's a black screen, you know, and it's just thunder and rain. It's just fucking straight thunder and rain. So that is sometimes. Then there's a podcast I listen to.
I think it's a country song too.
What's that?
Straight thunder and rain.
Yeah. Straight thunder and rain. Straight thunder and rain.
Nothing but cold and pain.
She left me, I left her, and I found cocaine. Straight thunder and rain.
Not a hurricane.
Straight thunder and rain.
Pure pain.
She thinks she can get the best of me, but she's in vain. Straight thunder and rain.
Not a hurricane.
Now I'm doing cocaine.
It's full of pain. We're
in my basement with 5 little children. I should have thought about this more.
It's pure disdain.
We yes-ended.
What's your one disdain?
Well, I eventually had to give up, but we yes-ended really well on that. We both pulled out our improv
We did. That's a background.
skills on that. So where was I at on this?
Thunder and rain. You just
sleeping.
White noise.
Sometimes it's white noise. Sometimes it's the thunder and rain. Sometimes it's this podcast called Sleep With Me, which I can't put over enough. It's great. If you're out there and an insomniac, Sleep With Me. There's a dude that he tells you stories, but he has found a way to make his voice the most boring thing in the world.
So he wants you to fall asleep.
Yes, and like his stories are entertaining enough to where you attempt to stay asleep, but his voice is just very dulcet and like this. To where you're like, I really want to sub, and I can't even get past his intro. Like before he fucking sells his mattresses, I'm fucking out. So Sleep With Me is really good, but then often what I will do, not to put them over any more than I should, but I've listened.
You're putting a lot of people
Well, I love doing it. I love putting people over. I don't care. Like they're, I hope that they'll see this and they'll put me over.
Correct.
And if they don't, that's fine. If you ask me personal things about my life, there are things that I like, and I'm not going to not say them just because they're not paying me a nickel. I'm a good person. These are things that I enjoy. Another thing, they're not paying us anything. All of Conrad's podcasts.
Right.
Not that Conrad's podcast will put you to sleep. They will not if you've not heard them. But I have heard a lot of them a shit ton of times.
Right.
Because I've gone through the rotation. I'm a road comic. I'm a traveling comic. So I've had enough time to get through every single Something to Wrestle, every single JR, every single 83 Weeks, every single What Happened Wednesday, every single Arn, every single. Am I missing one?
Did you hold up 5 fingers?
Yeah. So we're in.
Yeah.
But then there's some that like I listened to a long time ago, and like I know every single move of them because I really love his 5-hour-long introspective podcast. Like one of which was on one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Gold Dust, which was a 4.5-hour podcast. Which when I'm traveling down the road and I know it's a long trip, I'm like, I'm putting this on because I don't have to touch the shit for 4.5 hours. Like this is in. So because I've heard it so many times, I can sleep to it because it's something familiar enough to keep me like entertained while I pass out. But I've heard it so many times that I don't care to stay awake for it. So I fall asleep to the Gold Dust episode of Something to Wrestle With all the time because I know it's 4.5 hours. Like no matter how much I stay awake, this shit's still gonna be on when I fucking creep out.
Just so I can get a good audio clip for a highlight to promote it. The Gold Dust episode with Conrad and Bruce really put you to sleep.
Yeah. But because of how many times I've heard it, it's like I can go to sleep to Tombstone now because I've seen Tombstone so many times. Now, granted, that sometimes backfires because Tombstone's still so over for me that I'll be like, oh yeah, I've seen this so many times, I can just throw it on the background, I'll fall asleep. And then like, I'll be right about to fall asleep and I'll hear a fucking, I'll be a Huckleberry, and I'm like, this is about to be the best scene of all time. And I do feel that in the Gold Dust episode sometimes. I only can do that when I'm so tired that I know I'll probably be able to fall asleep no matter what.
At least a little bit.
Or sometimes I go to like season 2 of Rick and Morty that I've seen that entire season through like probably 15 times, and I can just play it in the background. My wife always like, if she hears the Rick and Morty theme song, she'll always go, ooh, it's bedtime. Like she really like, she'll be over there, I'll think she's asleep, and I'll be fucking around watching stuff, but as soon as she hears Rick and Morty, she'll lean over and she'll go, ooh, it's bedtime, because I throw that shit on all the time, because I've seen it so many times.
Telling me season 2 of Rick and Morty put you to sleep?
Because I've seen it so many times. I know the Dave Meltzer clip you're about to fucking put out. I know the Dave Meltzer, and you can't do that because I record my podcast in the same studio that Rick and Morty records all their shit. I record in Starburn Studio, so I can't be seen burying Rick and Morty. So
but what have you done in 10 lifetimes?
Exactly. Nothing. You've done nothing. Okay.
We've got 2 things you've tried. No, we got
First off, we're still on question 7, right?
6.
Okay.
But you only did 1 of 6 things.
Okay.
You did headphones.
Oh, right. Headphones.
2.
CBD oil.
Okay.
I won't give a specific brand over. Yeah, drops.
Okay.
CBD oil, ball powder.
Okay.
Gold Bond.
Just straight up gold. You're going to put that?
Straight up Gold Bond.
Gold Dust, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. I have to do that because, like, as a fat dude, I mean, you can fucking understand.
Chafy, yeah.
Like the difference in me putting powder on my nuts before I go to the airport, especially if I have a 2-hour layover, because you know I'm gonna be drinking, is insane. Like
when you land, if not, when you land, you're gonna need some corn.
Because when I land, I can confidently go home and like if I get off the plane, my wife's like, "Hey, what's up? We're trying to have a kid." I'm confident to give her the off the plane dick because I'd powdered earlier. Whereas like usually I wouldn't want to give her the off the plane dick because it's just a swamp down there. But with the powdered dick, I'm like, it's fresh. It's so fresh. I feel better about myself. I'm not chafing.
I think that's an answer you can also give on your Mount Rushmore of Little Debbie's. Powdered dick.
Powdered dick, yeah. Oh, we ain't even got to that yet. Okay, so I've done headphones, CBD, powder. What is it, 5 or 6? 6, okay.
3 more things.
Okay, so 4 is comic books. I need to travel with, and I just have, like, used to, I would have to go to my, what's that fucking shit called? Y'all got McKay's? Y'all have McKay's here?
No.
Okay, well, McKay.
Maybe, here.
In Chattanooga, they got a McKay's. In Knoxville and Nashville, they have McKay's. And it's a used bookstore, and it's like the Walmart of used books. And they don't just have used books; they have like, okay, bro, you remember when you got those? This inside shit.
To get used books, we have to buy new books.
New book, right? Exactly. Used book. Who did that?
Our new books are still up for sale.
Tell me who used them. I'll beat the fuck out of them. Who used these books? I'm sorry. Yeah. I started talking about books, and Alabama woke up and went, shut the fuck soon as I started talking about books, you were like, shut up, people might hear you. Talking about books. He's talking about books. My point is, so like, it's not only a used bookstore. They have used books. They have used DVDs. They have used wrestling action figures. Here we go. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and take the seat.
You can't be. We're too late. We're sorry.
Are they back up?
Okay.
Sorry.
We gotta bring it down a notch. Now we're doing an ASMR.
Okay. So what was the question you asked me? Oh, it's comic books.
You did.
So comic books.
Didn't know comic book was gonna have a deep answer. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I have to have enough comic books to travel with. So like, used to when I first started, I would pack my bag with not just like because comic books are usually about 20 pages long. It was volumes, and what a volume is usually the whole comic book run for the whole year that they pack into a volume. So I would take like 3 or 4 volumes on a round trip. So I'm gonna read which means I'm gonna read 4 years worth of comics in one round trip.
Okay,
So that's my jam. But then I found out through a fan of hopefully both of these podcasts, Super Dave, about Marvel Unlimited and Comixology and DC Universe. And so now I subscribe to these. It's like the Netflix of comics. I'm putting them over too. It's like the Netflix of comics. This is not a fucking ad.
And Super Dave hooks you up too.
Yeah. Oh no.
I'll send you some treasures.
No, me and Super Dave, he sent me.
Are you allowed to kayfabe that?
No, I can't do that right now.
Okay.
We can't do that.
That's what I was.
But so
The latest package.
Super Dave sends me by mail some comic books. I've sent him some comic books. I've also sent me and Clint from Hershey.
Yes.
Me and Clint send each other comic books. Like he'll send me by postman. It's like a fucking pen pal shit. He sends me a comic book. I think you'll like this, and so I'll read it, and then I'll send him one that I saw.
That's why Conrad's postage bill is so high.
Yeah.
Y'all were on a haul on his USPS.
But I've got some. Look, I've been very lucky in my career that I've gotten to be buddies with some comic book publishers in the indie scene, and I'll get some of their stuff and I'll send it to Clint. This is some indie shit. So
10 whole lifetimes.
You can't do shit.
Comic book publishers.
You couldn't see me in your most fucked up lucid dream. You literally couldn't. What can you do? You know what I'm saying? So comic books.
4.
I said CBD. I said headphones. I said comic books. I said
ball dust.
Ball dust. Oh man. Word. Oh, my Roku. I got to travel with my Roku.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't understand, and I know that you want me to just say the thing and then just go on to the next thing because that's where your content. You're like, just say the thing and we'll go on. Nobody wants to hear why.
No, I haven't stopped you once.
Yeah, you look like you were. So it looks so much like you were about to be like, just say the thing and go on.
You struggled so much with the 5th. I knew 6.
Struggle. I wasn't struggling. I was just telling you what was up.
Okay, good.
So my Roku. We on 5. So my Roku. I have to have my Roku. And me and the front desk lady at the hotel, I finally just smartened her up to this.
What?
And
you act like you live in a
I do. Are you kidding? I do live in a hotel.
And you live in a hotel.
No, Cassie, that's why I'm telling you it's so important for me to carry my Roku because I first started carrying my Roku on the road. I bought a Roku and I put it in my bag. And Amber started making fun of me. She's like, you literally you have to travel with your Roku. You have to have all your streaming services at your fingertips at all times. That you put a Roku in your bag. And I said, think about this for 2 seconds. And how about you out there? How about y'all think about this for 2 seconds? In my job, for real, in 2016, in just 2016, Casio,
okay.
I did 48 states and Canada. 48 states, 10 lifetimes. 48 states in Canada. So my life literally is in hotels.
Okay.
Since then, the tour hasn't let up. Have we done less states? Yeah. Because some states suck, but we've done some states more.
Okay.
I'm on the road 45 weeks a year, which means that is my normal. When I'm in hotels, that is my house. So like most people, they get off work every day. They go home and watch Netflix. If I didn't carry my Roku with me on the road, I wouldn't get to be that normal person. I would have to sit there and go, boy, hope TBS is showing King of Queens, which, by the way, that would hit for me. I love King of Queens.
But say you finally tried.
I fucking pop for King of Queens. Dude, are you shitting me? Kevin James is one of the funniest people on earth. But what I'm saying is everyone on earth gets a decision about what they watch. But because I'm on the road, I don't get that decision. No, I take my Roku, I plug it up to the back of the motherfucking hotel. And now, let me give you a tip out there for people who are about to say, well, Corey, I've taken my Roku on the road with me, and I tried to put it into the TV, but there was a blockage on the back of the TV. Yeah, that is called a hospitality barrier. And those exist in hotels when you're trying to use a Roku because they know that you're going to roll up in that motherfucker with a Fire Stick or a Roku, and you're going to try to get free entertainment when they could be making money from your stay there by charging you for a pay-per-view. All you have to do, in some events, take a small screwdriver. Everybody travels with one.
Life hack.
It's number 6 on my list. If you listen, you just jack that hospitality thing off, you bring it down, and boom, there's the USB port. Oftentimes, there's not a screwdriver on there. You just pop it right off, stick your USB on there, get your Roku on, or your Fire Stick, or your Apple TV, whatever your streaming service is that you want. You live your life when you're in them hotels because the Motel 6 don't owe you a goddamn thing. Not that I would ever in my wildest dreams stay at a Motel 6.
I thought you were going to say trash. You stayed away from negativity the whole podcast.
I did, and I did. I'm in.
Except you said you would never be
That's
found
fine.
dead in the Motel 6.
Look, man, that's not me trying to bury a Motel 6.
It
Like,
is.
Motel 6, no.
You buried him.
No, it's not. Motel 6 serves a good purpose. There are people who need to stay at a Motel 6, and I hope that they stay at a Motel 6. However, I'm not one of them people. And if you are,
Your principal.
get out there and try to live you a Marriott life. That's all I'm saying.
Principal. What's your principal?
Randy Barker.
Principal Barker.
Randy
stays
Barker
in a
thought that I
Motel
was going to
6.
be in a Motel 6 my whole life, and
He
I told
stays
him
more
different.
now.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
What's the next question?
Hey, by the way.
What's the next thing you got to travel with?
Screwdriver. You already
Oh, I was kayfabing now.
You got to drop the mic on.
Okay, all right.
It was a perfectly crafted bit.
All right, we'll edit this. We'll fix it.
Screwdriver was just number 6. No, that's what I'm saying. Don't add on.
Yeah.
No, it's still, we don't have to edit. You nailed it.
Okay.
Unless you would have came back and went, and my electric sock.
No, I got nothing. I got nothing. No, I got nothing.
5-finger discount. What's the last thing you stole?
Oh my God, last thing I stole. Last thing I stole was a king size Butterfinger from let me get the gas station right. Because I want to go to jail for this. The last thing I stole was a Butterfinger from the Tiger Mart in Chickamauga, Georgia, right off highway. I don't even think it's technically Chickamauga, Georgia. I don't know if it's zoned that way, but it's right off Highway 27, right beside Chickamauga, Georgia, right beside the McDonald's. I stole a Butterfinger, and let me tell you how I did it.
Okay.
This is about, and let me encourage everyone out there.
Don't encourage him to shop.
No, you should. If it's a mom and pop gas station, you should buy the candy bar. Okay, you should. But if it's an Exxon or BP, listen. I grew up in a time when I seen what I seen. Listen,
You can't do it.
yes, I can. I can't bury BP. Is BP? Oh my God, is BP paying you to do this
Well, you
podcast?
can't encourage people to shop.
Yes, I can. Who? I can't encourage people to shop with. Why?
Because I want to get deposition in the court.
Deposition
case
from who?
From the guy who steals. And to
Hold
put the
up.
court-
Hold up. Let me tell you something, Casio. If somebody goes out there and steals from a gas station, and in their official deposition,
Yeah.
they say, I only did it because I was watching Casio's cut. First off, that's not going to hold up in court.
That's only
Secondly-
13 people.
Exactly. Which I would
We
maintain.
know it's 13.
And I would maintain that anybody watching your podcast is a thief. But what I'm saying is, if anyone out there gets arrested for shoplifting and they say, I learned about this from Casio's cut, that's not going to hold up in court, and that's going to get you more over. Like, that shit's going to get read on the internet by me.
Like Tiger marks around the world.
And also,
their headquarters are going to have loss prevention.
Why don't you just put that fucking ticker at the bottom that says the thoughts of Corey Forrester do not represent Casio's cut? The fucking WWE did it with goddamn New Jack. You know, like
everybody. Yeah.
So I am encouraging you to shoplift. You should shop. Listen, but here's what you do.
No mom and pops.
No mom and pops.
Just chains.
Good dude. Mom and pop stores are the backbone of America. Those are the people.
You shouldn't be in the Tiger Mart to begin with.
Agree. If there's a, the only reason you should be in Tiger Mart is if you are traveling and you have to pull off to get gas and you don't know where the mom and pop is. If you're in your hometown and you're going to the Exxon Tiger Mart instead of the Ed's grocery store, the bait and tackle, you're a fucking piece of shit. But I understand if you're traveling and you're like, there's a big sign, the kids are yelling and we're in a van that's shaped like an egg because I'm Dave Hancock, you know, like I get it. You got to pull over where you want. But if you are pulling over wherever you want, this is how you get one on them.
Okay.
It's the easiest shoplift in the world, and I used to pull it off when I was didn't have shit, you know. So what you do is, first off, at every big name gas station, they got that whole gimmick where there's like 6 different sizes of drinks, but every single size is the same price. It's 99 cents.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like you can get 16 ounces for 99 cents, or you can get the fucking Goliath for 99 cents. You're like, well, why wouldn't I fucking get the Goliath? That's ridiculous. Right. So what you do is you get the Goliath for 99 cents. You go over to the candy aisle. You get the cup. You go over to the candy aisle. You take 2 or 3 Butterfingers. You dump them in the cup. Then you go fill the cup up with ice. Then you go fill the drink up with Dr. Pepper, and all your motherfucking candy bars are just sitting in the drink. You go sit that up. You're not trying to be inconspicuous. You got your thing. I'd like to buy this drink. You fucking buy the drink for 99 cents. You walk out of there with 3 motherfucking candy bars in there. And not only that, my friend, they are at the optimal temperature when you want to eat them, which is not frozen, but very cold.
They're in wrappers?
Yeah. So the water's not getting to them. But you put them in the drink, and nobody sees it because those are foam. Especially in the summer, they're called the freeze pop, or the what's the ones in the summer? The cool pops or the suds pops, or what? With the foam, you can't see the vignette of the candy bar. So you just put the candy bars in the cup, and then you fill the cup up with drink, and you go put the drink up there, and they look at you like, he's clearly not shoplifting. He's come to the front of the store.
I thought.
So that was the last thing I ever stole, and that was honestly like 2014, 2015.
I don't know what your master plan was about to be that you told us, but it wasn't that.
But I mean, I
thought you were going to be like, take the Butterfinger, king size, of course, go to the bathroom, put it in your jeans like it looks like your dog, and walk out of the
No, what I did was way more simple, and I got away with it, which is why it is a master plan. Am I wrong?
We'll see. We'll never know if they keep getting the candy bars.
But see, I would never do that.
Just tweet us a picture of Butterfinger.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that again because I'm doing well. But I do encourage everyone out there to do that.
I bet Principal Parker still does.
Fuck him.
No, I bet he still smoke.
Of course he does.
He stays in his motel.
Of course he does, that fat drunk motherfucker.
4 Mount Rushmore Little Debbie's.
Oh my God, my Mount Rushmore Little Debbie's. I'll be honest with you, this is one of those questions that you get that no matter what you say, you can expect heat.
Okay. No, yes.
So
it's like March Madness. Somebody's getting left out.
Right. And also, if I can preface this to everyone watching, if you ask me this next week, there might be 2 of them that aren't on there anymore. There's 2 of them that are 100% always going to be on there. But there's 2 of them that, like, depending on how I feel next week, could be on. But I'll tell you this is hard. Oatmeal cream pie.
Okay.
Star Crunch.
Okay.
Christmas tree cakes.
Okay.
And this is where you're about to fight me. Banana Twins. Has anyone ever said Banana Twins?
I don't think so.
you got to put them in the freezer. There's a caveat. You can't just like, don't be fucking come up to me being like, really, you just want raw dog a banana twin? I never will. I will never raw dog a banana twin. But I'll put one in the freezer and eat it the next day, and it'll taste like a goddamn ice cream sandwich. I'll do that shit, and I think it's the best Debbie.
I like my women. I like my banana twins.
In the freezer for a whole day. What's yours? What's your for?
What's your
for?
How do you eat your Star Crunch?
With a scoop of peanut butter on top of it. Yeah, with a spoonful. You get a spoon.
So you know Ron Funches had Star Crunch in his top.
Of course, because he's smart.
And he said...
Heat it in the microwave for 3 seconds.
13.
Okay, I wouldn't do that.
Why?
No, I'm not saying it wouldn't be good.
He said it was the perfect thing.
Well, I'll try it. I've never tried it before, but like, does he put peanut butter on?
No.
Then I would go against him. I would say that like I'll take my cold stock out of the box Star Crunch with a spoonful of peanut butter on it against your 13-second microwave mark-ass bullshit.
Well, see, here's.
But I'm gonna try it, and he might be right because that caramel gets nice.
I put the video up. I tried it afterwards. Now, here's my problem. I wasn't thinking about it going in for my scientific test.
Hot. It was hot.
I forgot to realize I bought the Big Daddy from the gas station.
Oh, so it needs to be 22 seconds.
Right, so I go 13. I eat it. It wasn't that great. And
I bet it was still pretty great.
Yeah, no, I would have ate it. But I thought,
I guess still pretty.
Ron Funches put this way over.
Yeah.
For just being mediocre. And then it hit me, oh, this is a big one. Let me pop this back in. By that time, it had cooled a little bit, and I don't know how the ratio anyway scalded my mouth.
Yeah.
It was way too hot at that point. And it was still had the hard shell on the outside. It wasn't a good mix. So that's why I wanted to see how you if you microwave yours.
No, I didn't, but
freeze the banana twins.
Freeze
peanut butter on the Star
Freeze
Crunch.
banana twins, peanut butter on the Star Crunch.
Oatmeal cream pie, just normal.
And also, this isn't a little Debbie, but it's in the same like vicinity. Moon pie. What you need to do is take the moon pie, put it on like a pizza rack or something like that.
You did a tiny
one. Oh, I did. My bad. Double decker moon pie.
Okay. Well, I wanted to make sure you weren't talking about the tiny ones. You're talking about the normal.
Please.
Big Daddy.
Did you hear how many opinions I had on Star Crunches? Do you think I'm talking about the fucking look? Double decker moon pie vanilla. Take a double decker moon pie vanilla. Put it on a pizza rack. Put it to 350. Let it heat up. Get to 350. Let it get to 350.
Oh, put it in while it's preheating.
No. Let it get to 350.
Oh, okay. Preheat to 350.
Preheat to 350. Take the double decker moon pie and put a pad, which is the technical culinary term, just a pad of butter.
Oh.
Just one little pad of butter on top of it. Let it melt down. Take it out. Put it. Eat it with a fucking fork and knife like it was like a pie or a cake.
Like 30 seconds?
Nah, I do 2 minutes. Let it brown.
That's getting me.
Basically, you just want the butter to melt completely over it, and then you know that the marshmallow in it is hot. Take it out and eat it like a fucking cake. Let me tell you, boy.
That was the moment in the podcast where Forrester changed the angle in my dangle, folks.
I'm telling you, it moved, didn't it?
It's a whole angle change.
What's where we at? Question 2?
3.
3. Oh my god. Okay.
3 albums on a deserted island.
3 albums on a deserted
I want you to wrap your head around it.
Yeah, no, I know, because this is forever. Like,
Right,
this is potentially
so
forever.
So don't get it confused with your 3 favorite albums. It might be.
No, because it won't be my 3 favorite albums. Because it's like, what can I listen to over and over again? Because like some of my favorite albums, I can't listen to over and over again. The reason that they're my favorite albums is because they make me really like get into myself and like stay there for a minute. And like if I'm on a deserted island, I don't know how much I'm already going to be in my feels. Like I need some feel good fucking music.
Okay.
That being said, if I'm on a deserted island, my top 3 albums are probably. Okay, this counts as an because they did put out an album with it. The Last Waltz.
Okay.
The band. It was a DVD that Martin Scorsese did, but they did put out an audio record. So like, I'm going with that because not only do I get the band, I also get Bob Dylan, I also get Van Morrison, I also get Dr. John, I also get Joni Mitchell, I also get Neil Diamond, I also get Neil Young. I get a lot of what I want from the 70s into one cohesive album that kind of tells a
farewell story from this hero group. So I definitely say The Last Waltz by the band. I would then say, fuck man, that's a real good question. I would probably say, I'm about to get heat for this, I think, Morning View by Incubus.
Okay. Is that Drive?
Drive
Hold the Wheel and Drive?
No. That was that was on the album before Morning View. That was on Drive.
Okay.
No, this was I Wish You Were Here, Goodbye, Circles, Aqueous Transmissions. The reason that this album is so important to me is not that, like, I don't consider it like one of the greatest albums of all time. I'm not somebody that's that dumb. But it came out when I was a freshman in high school. And when I was a freshman in high school, I was an 8th grader when 9/11 happened. So it's a really deep answer. But, like, I was an 8th grader when 9/11 happened. And so, like, that kind of shifted the world for me. Like, as it did for everybody, and nobody that's lived. But as an 8th grader, like in that adolescent, like I'm in that moment of like going from child to adult, especially in high school, and I'm going into that. And I started playing high school football, and I'm having to deal with all these like seniors in high school and like all these older dudes, and hey kids. So we was just talking about 9/11. Y'all weren't there. Don't worry about it. Sorry, a bunch of children just walked by. But it wasn't just like, of course it was a monumental moment for everybody. But like going from 8th grade to 9th grade is a huge jump. Going from middle school to high school is a huge weird jump, especially when you play football. And now you go from being the top dog to like, I'm about to get my ass whooped by grown men from what we think. I remember Morning View by Incubus came out, and it coincided with me going to my first high school football camp right after 9/11, when my brain had just shifted into this like, oh wow son, you're in the real world now. And this album came out, and it was like such a fucking declaration of acceptance and defiance all in this one album. Like it was both meditative and aggressive. I just love that album, and because of the nostalgia of that, I can listen to that album now, literally 20 years later, and just be like, and get taken immediately back to this place of like, I think I'm about to figure out who I'm about to be as a person, and I love it, and I think I could listen to it every day for the rest of my life. So if I'm going to Deserted Island, I'm going to do that. So we have Last Waltz, Morning View. I'm so sorry, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to answer these questions fully. And then you said 3?
There's chaos in the background.
You said 3?
Yeah, you say one more.
Probably The Legend of Jesse James. And not a lot of people know about this album. The Legend of Jesse James is what it's called, a concept album. So the entire album plays like a movie, and the entire album plays like the movie of Jesse James from his inception into the criminal world, like he was in the Civil War. So in the Civil War, he fights in all these battles. Then he comes back and he realizes the South is just like completely depleted, and he's mad at the Yankees for he has this very different view on the war that I personally have, but like that the Yankees were the worst people in the world, and that they represent the banks, and so he's going to rob all these fucking banks. And so the entire album is about Jesse James leaving the war, becoming the fucking Jesse James that we know in all the folklore today, up until his death. And all the characters are played and sang by country singers that we know and love. Levon Helm plays Jesse James.
Strong.
Johnny Cash plays Jesse James' brother. Lucinda Williams plays Jesse James' wife. Charlie Daniels plays one of the goddamn, oh my god, one of the
Charlie Daniels.
No, he plays one of the Fords.
Who was there?
Yeah, right, exactly. He was just alive during that time. But it's just a fucking.
About the time that went down the door to
But it's just a fucking great album of all these country singers that are not only singing their hearts out in these songs, but it's also telling you this story, and it's a complete story album. And I have it on vinyl, and it means a lot to me because when I used to live in Yellowstone national park with this dude, and we both decided, fuck the park, we're not going to work there anymore. And I didn't know the dude other than we'd worked there for a couple days together and decided that we hated it. And I didn't have a car, but he did have a car. And he was like, man, this fucking sucks. And he was from Washington State. But he's a redneck. And it was the first time I ever realized you could be a redneck and not be from the South. He was from Washington State, and he had a cowboy. He said, this is fucking bullshit, man. I just want to go to Nashville and sing country music. And I go, you trying to go to Nashville? And he's like, yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. I go, I live in Chattanooga. That's like an hour and a half away. I'm fucking in. And we just hopped in his truck. And he introduced me to Chris Ledoux. And he introduced me to this album, the Ballad of Jesse James. And we listened to it. And I remember listening to it in the truck going like, man, this is the first audio movie I've ever heard, because it was such a concept album. So I think I could sit on an island for at least a couple years and just replay that story in my mind. So The Legend of Jesse James.
Where's that guy now? Is that how you met Trey Crowder?
No,
that was him.
No, right. That's hilarious. No, Jesse actually finally settled down in Nashville, and I went to see one of his shows the other night in Davidson, Tennessee. I went, and it was really good. He played at this bar, and it was fucking fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, so we've kept up. That was I just turned 21, so it was 12 years ago. We met. He drove me back, dropped me off, and was like, "I'll see you, buddy." And then, but I went to see a show the other day. Like, we still keep up.
Put him over. What's his name?
Jesse Taylor. If you go to iTunes and go to Jesse Taylor Music, go to Jesse Taylor Music on Google. Go to Jesse Taylor Music on YouTube. He's got some great songs.
Can you go to sleep to it?
No, you will not go to sleep to it. It will absolutely keep you up. He's got one song on one of his albums called "The Cowboy's Poet." It's one of my favorite songs in the entire world. Great guy. So those are the three albums.
Jesse Taylor.
Yeah,
we're giving a shout out for Jesse Taylor.
Yeah, but those are the three
But
albums.
he put you on to Jesse James.
Yeah.
All right. 2. Who would be your tag team partner?
The legit wrestler, like any Arn.
Do you want Mr. T?
Yeah, Arn Anderson.
Take Mr. T.
Arn Anderson will be my tag team partner.
Okay.
And I think because me and Arn,
I know a lot of people right now are saying this looks like Arn and all. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's the reason, is because if I was tagging with Arn, they'd be like, well, I mean, I can see this kid.
He's in the family.
If you put me next to any other wrestler in the world, everybody go, who the fuck is this dude? But if you put me next to Arn, they'd be like, damn, Arn's got a nephew. That's all right.
You know how they had fake Nash and fake Razor?
Yeah, I'm fake Arn.
We should go out.
Yeah.
We're not the Andersons. We're the Spandersons.
Yeah, you know what?
We're the Spanderson brothers.
Whenever you can see here, whenever I forget to shave my head, whenever I forget to shave it for a while, I get this tuft right here that goes down like really far, like it's a huge tuft.
We're double ollies.
And fucking Trey and Drew's nickname for me is Hard Arn Anderson. And a lot of people always said I was born 40.
Let that marinate for some people to catch up.
You got it up. Hard Arn Anderson.
Yeah, but I say, like, if we tag team, we'd be double always. But we'd still be in the Anderson family.
We'd be the Fat Two Boys.
All right, so Arn Anderson, the enforcer.
Arn Anderson would be...
Since he's going to have to do some heavy lifting.
He'd be my all-time tag team partner.
Okay. What if I say current?
If you said current, I would probably go with... I'll probably go with Will Ospreay. Because then I wouldn't have to do anything. That's my reason.
That guy's pretty good, man.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't have to do anything. Like, I could just put Will Ospreay in. He might give me the hot tag after everyone's worn the fuck out. But then, like, exactly. Like, Will Ospreay's going to go in there and beat motherfuckers' ass for 15 minutes, wear them out, give me the hot tag. I'm stunning them once, and then I'm going to tell everybody in Japan that their noodles ain't shit, and then I'm going to get the fuck out of there.
Streamer.
Even though, by the way, if you're there in Japan listening, your noodles are fucking so over for me. I was just cutting a promo. Noodles are my favorite thing in the world.
That's how you get the streamers.
Yeah, exactly. He's fucking Stan Hansen's kicking them out of the ring. It's fucking true.
We got your tag team. And then number 1, who's the most famous person in your phone?
Oh, most famous phone number I have? Oh, shit. Conrad don't count.
He's up there.
It's not. Oh, Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi.
Yeah, Whoopi.
So what would happen? I'm not saying you're doing it. I'm saying what would happen if you texted her you up?
Well, it's her home phone number. So I don't even know if I could. I can't text her. It's her home phone number because Whoopi is old school and she lives in Connecticut. The last time I called Whoopi, it was her legit shoot answering machine, like not like her fucking voicemail.
I was gonna say, I wish it was
like
the
it was her.
noise.
No, it was her tape.
It
was no. It was her taped fucking. She's got a house in Connecticut. It's Whoopi Goldberg. Our book was over for her. It's actually like legit. Like Whoopi Goldberg. This is crazy for me to say, but like Whoopi Goldberg has a. No matter what I do in my career, I can never. I mean, like Trey Crowder gave me my career, in my opinion. I'll put him over. I don't care. Like that's legit. Like Ron White, as good as he is, can't say that Jeff Foxworthy didn't do shit. But after that, like for me and Trey, once we'd already got our going, like Whoopi Goldberg, man, like she legit established us. Like she read our book. Our book randomly popped up on her. She's a big Audible person. Mm-hmm. And our book just came up on her Audible thing, and she was like, liberal redneck shit, you know? And she read it, and she was like, or she listened to it, and she was like, fuck, which I maintain, I'm going to promo myself, Liberal Redneck Manifesto, Dragon Dixie Out of the Dark. Get it on Audible. That's the best way to consume it, because we, the authors, read it, and it's very funny. But she listened to it, and it was over for her, and just one random show of The View, she was sitting there talking to Joy and whoever the other clams on that show, and she was like, I'll tell you what.
We lost it at number 1.
So
we lost it at number 1.
I don't remember who was on there at that time, but she was like, I'll tell you what book's over for me. She's like, it's this Liberal Redneck Manifesto, and Joy was just like, well, let's have him on the show. And then the next thing you know, we're on The View, and we sell a shit ton of books, and I have a career.
10 lifetimes, Principal Barker.
None. You can't even see me in a dream.
Well, if you go back in the archives at Casio'sCut.com, you can listen to the episode when I had Whoopi on. She actually brought it up. She said she put her earpods in and fell asleep.
Through the pop!
Okay.
Your 10 questions usually go an hour and a half.
I usually do these for a hot 22.
I'm sorry, I had a lot of opinions.
That was it. And Whoopi's it. I was trying
she also, dude, she gave us.
Oh, we got it. You're over with.
Okay, I'm done. She gave us her
4 stars.
She gave us her vape pen. So we no, for real. So we did.
I just thought that would be great if you saw her. She put you over that hard, and then you went and looked at the rating, and she gave you 4.
No.
4 out of 5. Wasn't it?
No. So Whoopi, we did The View, which Whoopi wasn't even at, by the way. She put us over, got us on The View, but she was sick and couldn't come to The View. So we were like, oh fuck, Whoopi hates us.
So for the Audible bite that we clip out, so Whoopi had corona when you went.
Yeah. So Whoopi she put us on the show, and we're like, oh my god, Whoopi hates us. So the next day, we got stranded at New York because there was a snowstorm, and so we're at the fucking Le Parker Meridian, which I remembered that hotel because that was the hotel that Rosie O'Donnell used to put her guests up on. I remembered it as a kid, like the Le Parker Meridian. Like, oh my god, you're high stake. We got put up there, and so they let me, Trey, and Drew. They're like, well, there's
Spice, by the way, is French for Motel 6.
Yeah, the Le Parker Meridian. That's French for the Crackers Hotel 6. So no, it's not. It's actually very nice. And so they put us up there, and they were like, because there was a snowstorm, they were like, well, you guys aren't going to be able to leave, so we'll give you another night. And by the way, we'll just let you know, your food and your drink and all the tax is on us. You guys have a good time. They told 3 rednecks, your food and your drinks and your tax, it's all on us. When we were in New York City, I'd lived in New York City. Drew had lived in New York City. Trey knew several comedians from New York City. What did we do? We immediately called every comic that we met. Well, yeah, because we're putting them, they don't ever get this shit. We're like, hey, we're in. We got a fucking tab here at the Le Parker Meridian. We get all these fucking Italian-ass Jersey comics to come the fuck in. And my mom's there, my Aunt Beth's there. We just have a fucking round table at the Le Parker Meridian. We run up a tab that is fucking asinine. Then we go up to my room. Once everybody else has partied out and they go to sleep, we go up to my room where they said that room service was also included. So we go up there and we're wanting to drink beers, but all the goddamn beers they have are fucking fancy beers that aren't screw off, but they also don't have a fucking pop top up there. So what we're doing is we're opening beers with other beers, and every time we do, the other beer breaks and we just throw it in the trash.
Okay.
And so, like, 2 weeks later, we get a fucking message from Simon & Schuster, which is our publisher, which got billed from the La Parker Meridian and the View. And they were talking about how in one night, the Well-Read Comedy Tour racked up, I think it was over $3,000 in bar tabs and charges and reckless fees and shit like that. And they didn't know what to do with this. And we ignored it because we're like, fuck it, we wrote a book, we was on The View, that's just what we're supposed to do. Next day, they fucking chime in again. Da-da-da-da. Finally, Trey rolls over, hung over his piss, and says, and emails back, one of the best things I've ever seen, says, why don't you tell them I'll pay double if they'll just shut the fuck up about it? So he's immediately over for me in my mind, as if he hadn't been. And so this was just like our fucking like financial advisor sent us this shit. Then the next day, the fucking publishers send us a fucking email that said, and I quote, this dude that was handling our book and was handling all our bookings on The View and all our publishing rights for our book, he said, and I quote, gentlemen, which if you start an email with gentlemen,
especially when we know it's being facetious.
yeah, oh, dude, gentlemen, in my 30 years in the publishing industry, I have never seen anything like this. This is unbelievable and absolutely inexcusable. And Drew Morgan sent him an email back that said, yeah, well, maybe that's why print media is dead. You don't have enough fucking drunks left. Because this dude said, in 30 years, in the publishing industry, I've never seen the type of damage that you motherfuckers did. And in that moment, we knew we were not sitting on a bestseller, but we knew that we were sitting on one of my favorite stories that I could ever tell, which was that you do not give three hillbillies fucking I'm beeping it out, amount of money, and then give them a free hotel bar and go, I bet they won't act like three hillbillies with a shit ton of money. Well, we fucking did, you dumb fuck.
10 lifetimes.
10, you will never see me in a dream, Principal Barker. Do you understand? Have you any idea what I've done and what I will do in my life, what I will continue to do? I've not even scratched the surface of how insane this is going to get. I've not even scratched the surface of how much I'm going to achieve. Do you understand me when I tell you that you need to buckle the fuck up? Because this train, it's coming straight down your track, baby.
So you put peanut butter on a Star Crunch.
You have to, in my opinion. And go cold. Sandwich the two between. Put it on the flat side and hit it with 2 Star Crunches. Maybe sprinkle some honey on top.
So peanut butter sandwich.
Yes. And I would advise, and a lot of people won't do this. A lot of people think you're crazy. But like, how many times do we see sea salt caramel? Sea salt this. Sprinkle a couple of grains of kosher salt on top of the Star Crunch before you do it, because it's going to cut a little bit of that sweet. It's going to confuse your palate a little bit. And when it confuses your palate, it makes your palate go, hold on, and it makes it tune in. And it makes it appreciate the Star Crunch even more. You know what I'm saying?
Did you just secretly take us to Flavor Town there?
Yeah, always. Don't you dare. Don't you
We
dare.
went on a long journey, and I saw the playground for a long way. But you got us there.
I'm competing for so many shows right now. This is gonna be my audition tape for fucking Food Network, the Travel Channel, AEW, Dr. Phil, #1, because I know everybody out there looking is like, this boy does not realize how many problems he has exposed just during this one interview. This is very bad.
But this has turned into a psychology lesson.
Yeah.
We've seen inside.
Can I tell you something right now? I'm real high. Can I be frank?
I'll be Bill.
And I'm gonna eat
We're
the
making
other.
up names.
I'm gonna eat the other. Oh, that ain't. Oh shit, that's my pot. I thought I had another half of that gummy in here. Oh, I did. It's hard as fuck. Look here.
That's a bad move.
Let's do this. Let's go watch WrestleMania 5.
We better stop before we get there.
Yeah.
That's the way I wanna be. I'll be a white trash superstar. That's the way I wanna be. I'll be a white trash superstar.
This is Paulie B.
And I'm Jay-Z Flair with the Jay-Z Flair Show, and you're listening to Casio's Cut. And once you get done listening to this show, come on over and check me and Paul out over at the Jay-Z Flair Show. Tell them what we talk about, Paul.
Jay-Z, we talk about fried chicken. We talk about biscuits. We
Yes.
talk about championship belts.
Yes.
Video games, special
Yes.
retro ones, and a little...